feeling the pressure to get it all together, but also this deep soul level pull to just let it all go. This full moon in Capricorn that's happening today, July 10th, isn't just a another full moon, right? It's a cosmic checkpoint. And it's the universe asking you directly. It's looking right at you and it's saying, are you building the life that your soul came here for? So let's talk about it, right? That's what the universe wants to do. So we're going to get into it a little bit more. So tonight's full moon in Capricorn, of course, it's more than just like a little cosmic checkpoint, right? It's a spiritual reset. So with full moons, right, the sun and the moon are in complete opposition of one another. So the sun shines a light on every crack and crevice of what's hidden by the moon. So things come to light. And if you have been feeling that pressure to get everything together, to get everything figured out, this moon helps to bring clarity, but it also brings grounding because Capricorn is an earth sign. So it helps to bring that grounding that helps you align with what your higher path is telling you you need to do. It's helping you to get the plans around that you need for the future. So let's break down the energy and all those little planetary players that are involved in this full moon. And then at the end, I'm going to have a horoscope for each one of the signs based on what this full moon is doing and how it's impacting you. So be sure to look at your sun, moon, and rising for that. So what does this Capricorn full moon mean spiritually? So Capricorn is a sign of life purpose and career. So this full moon isn't just about, goal setting and future planning. It's a sacred moment for our soul's alignment. Capricorn is the archetype of the elder, the mountain goat, right? It climbs sideways up a mountain to get where it needs to go, and it works hard, right? It climbs towards that mastery with determination, and it keeps on going. It's ruled by Saturn, the planet of lessons, the planet that's the teacher, and the planet that makes us work hard to get what it is that we want. So it helps us to commit to what really matters. Spiritually, this moon, it illuminates our long-term visions over these temporary distractions that have been popping up. It helps you to anchor into the higher frequencies that have been happening now, especially as we've been coming out of the Sirius portal, out of the summer solstice portal, getting those downloads on what we need to be doing. It helps us to kind of balance out those frequencies and bring them into our conscious mind to know what it is we need to do. It also helps to offer karmic release from those outdated cycles that are no longer serving us. This moon's light shines on what we're building and why we're building what we're building. This Capricorn moon reminds us to reconnect with purpose, but also with patience. The major changes that we want to make aren't going to happen overnight. And this full moon helps us to not only realize what we need to let go and surrender, but what we need to do in the meantime while we wait for the changes to take form. So with full moons, all the other planets are going to get involved in some way, shape, or form, right? Well, maybe not all of them, but for this planet, for this full moon, we have, of course, that sun in Cancer that's in opposition of the moon in Capricorn. So this is a bit of a cosmic tug of war with our Cancer emotional needs versus our worldly duties. And that's the Capricorn sign. Facing off with each other. Cancer wants us to stay safe. And Capricorn says, take a risk if it's aligned. Right? And Saturn rules Capricorn. So right now, Saturn is a pretty darn strong player in this full moon. It's stirring up a karmic review, helping you to assess what soul contracts do you have that might be complete. What has outlived its longevity for you? What lessons have you learned and are you ready to release, to move on? What legacy are you leaving behind, right? What kind of plans are you trying to make for the future? And what kind of future do you want to have ahead of you? Now, that's what Saturn's doing. But then Mars is asking for us to kind of step into our courage and our power to get our feet moving towards these goals, right? Now, it also aligns with the galactic center that's out there, offering downloads and divine direction for us as well. So, not only are we getting the directive, we have Mars adding in that fiery momentum, giving us the courage, and it makes us jump where normally we would be a little bit more reserved. But it's only going to work if it's aligned with what your soul mission is, right? So, with that, you're going to be getting plenty of insights on what this full moon is bringing through, asking for you to release, asking for you what you need to do to make steps forward, to make changes in your life. So, what kind of themes are we going to be working with here? Spiritual maturity is definitely one, right? Growing into responsibility with grace instead of pressure. You're ready to step into that because you're ready for that next chapter, whatever that might be, relationship, work, whatever. Karmic closure is another big one because of everything happening with Saturn. So you may be feeling endings. Just trust that. Trust that process. They're making space for what is truly aligned for you. Nothing new can come in if the old is filling in that space, right? Embodying the sacred masculine is a big part of this as well too, because Saturn and Capricorn are very masculine ruled planets. Saturn represents father figures, paternity in astrology. So of course it's going to be making an impact now, right? It's not about hustle, but it's about the right actions that are grounded. And it's not just about having the right actions, it's about your follow through. Are you saying what you're going to do? Mars is giving you the push to do it, but do you have that follow through to make it happen? So this moon carries a lot of cosmic downloads in it, right? They're like a diamond like frequency that's coming through loud and clear with a lot of clarity. And so if you are willing to access that, open up, and that higher wisdom and those downloads will come through to you. Now, with that, you might find that you have fatigue. You may be feeling like you don't want to be around anybody. That's absolutely part of the process of processing these stellar downloads as they come through. They bring insights, but they can also kind of remember they're at a higher vibration than what our physical bodies are able to maintain. So that's going to impact your physical body as well. So some of the things that we do in these full moons, right, just to harness that energy is journaling. That's a huge thing, right? I have my little journal here that I'll have a link for below that has journal prompts for each of the full moons for this year. And it's just a cool thing in general. But beyond that, asking yourself today, what am I truly committed to building? That's a big one to ask yourself. Asking yourself, where am I being called to lead, both for others, but both and in my own life? Where am I being called to lead? And what old identities or obligations am I ready to release? What can I release? What do I need to release? Now, those are things to kind of ask yourself in this time frame. But for each one of the signs, let's go over how this full moon is really bringing through things to the surface for you. So Aries, starting with you, this is happening in your 10th house of career and life purpose. So this is definitely a time for you to be leading with that integrity. It might be called on for you at work to do this. A career opportunity may be popping up. Growth is possible for you, but just make sure that you don't burn out, right? Taurus, this is a big set in belief shifts for you that are coming. Your values are expanding, your network is expanding, you grow with it, Gemini. So much old trauma may be rising for release. Don't resist it because transformation is coming. You have Uranus just moving into your sign. It's dipping its toes in for a little stint here between July 7th and November, for you to really see how the next 7 years you're going to be stepping into the most true and authentic version of yourself. But with that, a lot of old has to be released, and you might find that this full moon is bringing a lot of those things to the surface. So don't release them, right? Don't resist the transformation, just step into it. So Cancer, now for you, this is happening in your relationship house. This is happening in your 7th house. So this is romantic relationships, close relationships, friendships, all of them, right? those truths are beginning to surface. Boundaries are love, and you might be finding that this is a full moon when a lot of issues in relationships are coming to a head, and you will find that Saturn, since it's so much involved with this full moon, that it's asking for you to set limits with how much of your energy you're willing to give in these relationships. You're looking at the balance in those relationships, and maybe you're thinking more long term how you want these relationships to look. But ultimately, Saturn asks for you to set healthy boundaries for yourself and others so that way relationships can thrive and be reciprocal. So, Leo, this is happening in your sixth house of health and just your daily habits. So, that's where your focus is going to be at. And you recognize that that structure is something that you might need. So, whether that's, drinking hot water every morning with lemon at 8 o'clock, setting a routine somehow, making sure that you're setting that time to work out, to meditate, maybe just focusing on eating better, whatever it might be, or just looking overall at how your daily habits are impacting your energy levels. That's the type of stuff that's coming up for review for you in this full moon. Now, Virgo, creativity meets your soul mission. This is happening in your fifth house of creativity and happiness. So you may be finding this is a time that you're ready to just get out and have fun. Virgo, you work hard enough. This is time to really just explore some things that bring you just joy and happiness under the power of this full moon, because it births something real for you. This is a year of epiphanies and a lot of realizations because the eclipses are happening in your sign. So a lot of things are coming to light for you where you're ready to start letting go of things so you can be more in an authentic version of yourself where you're doing things that you want instead of constantly doing for others, right? So Libra, for you, this is hitting in your fourth house of home and family. But it's not just home and family now. This is also the nuclear family and early childhood as well. So when we have a full moon, that's asking us to release. There may be a lot of things surfacing with family karma, old memories, belief systems that just aren't serving you anymore, and you don't need that, right? So this full moon may bring those things to light. Maybe some issues with family dynamics come to light, asking for you to recognize what needs to be let go of. So anchor your space in love and focus on balancing those scales for you and those involved, right? Scorpio, you are definitely a channel right now. There's a lot of energy happening in this full moon in your third house of conscious communication. It's not just about what's subconsciously coming through and the messages that you're receiving subconsciously. This is all about what your conscious mind is telling you and how your mouth is speaking it to everybody around you. Speaking your truth boldly is going to be important. Now, of course, we want to be aware of the things that we're saying, but you have Mars really pushing on you to stand up and assert yourself, assert your needs, especially if it's things that are very important for your future and for your planning of the future. So, definitely something with that. Now, Sagittarius, your second house of worth, wealth, and values is getting lit up. So you are in the process of upgrading what you believe you deserve. Issues around money may come to the surface, and also about what you are willing to tolerate and what you're not. This is a time frame when maybe some events are happening. Full moons have a way of doing that, right? Showing you, hey, I don't necessarily deserve this kind of treatment. I deserve better. I deserve to be paid more. Whatever it might be, listen to those nudges, because whatever you can release, outdated beliefs in this time frame around money, anything that you value, it's going to come back and it's going to bring you some blessings when it comes to what you really do deserve. Now, Capricorn, this is your moon, right? Big completions are afoot, right? This is about new responsibilities maybe that you have to take on, but you're ready to rise to that challenge. You've been going through this anyway. Now that Pluto has finally left your sign, it has reinvented you since 2008 onward. And now you're ready to step into what this new version of you is. So this is your first full moon where all of those old residual energies are ready to be released. let them go in this full moon. And I think you'll be surprised at how the clarity that you're looking for on who this new version of you is meant to be is going to start coming through. Now, Aquarius, this is going to be an interesting one for you, right? This is all about rest. This is going to be a weekend that's really focused on going within. It's focused on your house of the subconscious mind in that 12th house. This is about dreams that are coming through both when you're sleeping, but also daydreams that are happening in your conscious life while you're awake. These are what hold the answers to the things that you've been asking for. Those beacons that you've been sending out to the universe, asking for direction, they're coming through. You just have to slow yourself down, rest enough so you can hear it, right? Regeneration is sacred. It's not lazy for you to lay around. Do it. Pisces, you are having your 11th house lit up. So this is your community changing. This is maybe a call to recognizing the people that are around you and how you may be supporting them, but they're not supporting you. Maybe you've outgrown certain aspects and relationships with friends and the communities, the networks, the organizations that you surround yourself with. This is a call to finding your aligned soul group, your soul fam, right? You're finding them and they're finding you, right? But you got to let go of some of those outdated people that just hold you back, right? Setting boundaries. That's what this full moon is all about. So in general, right, everybody, I think a great thing to do in the energy of this full moon, because it is an earth sign, going out and grounding yourself in this energy barefoot under the moon. No better way to do it, of course, right? Meditating, journaling, like I said, smoky quartz is a very good one for Capricorn energy. Holding on to that, writing out things that you're willing to release, burning that or even burying that into the earth, because this is a earth moon. That helps you to kind of get aligned with what your goals are moving forward. You're releasing that, the universe will bring you the next steps. So I guess overall in general, right, y'all, this Capricorn full moon is the universe's way of saying you're ready. You're ready for new beginnings. So anchor your vision in reality. Take the steps that you're given. Have the courage to take those steps. Take a deep breath. Take a leap. And keep on climbing, right? The more determined you are and the more stick-with-itness you have to attain those goals, one soul-aligned step at a time, you're going to find that you're going to be making a lot of progress instead of just staying where things have been spinning, right? Absolutely. So everybody, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to watch me next time. We'll go over more astrological insights and get everything that the universe is bringing through. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.